I cloned my brain and now it works faster than me. That's either genius or terrible idea. Let me show you what happened. Okay, real talk. You've probably used AI before, ChatGPT, Notion AI, some chatbot. Helpful, sure, but does it think like you? Does it know how you make decisions, how you write, how you solve problems at 2 a.m. when everything feels urgent? Mine does now. And today, I am showing you how I built an AI assistant that actually thinks like me, and the weird moment when it started predicting what I would say. Before I said it, but first, I need to explain the problem. Because this started with frustration. Every AI felt generic, good answers, wrong brain. I'd ask it to write something. It sounded smart, but it didn't sound like me. Too formal, too robotic, to LinkedIn thought leader. And when I asked for help making decisions, it gave safe advice, not my advice. That's when I realized something. AI doesn't need to be smarter. It needs to be more like you. So I tried something different. Instead of asking AI for answers, I trained it to think the way I think. Here's how. First, I gave it my past. Old notes, journal entries, voice memos, random idea dumps, project plans. Even messy drafts I never published. Not just polished work, the raw thinking. Because your real thinking lives in half-finished thoughts. I uploaded everything into a system that lets AI search through my own knowledge, like a second brain with memory. Now, when I ask a question, it doesn't just search the internet. It searches me, but that alone wasn't enough. Because memory isn't the same as mindset. And the next part, this is where it stopped acting like a tool and started acting like a version of me. I noticed something about my own patterns. When I make decisions, I usually ask, does this save time later? Does this reduce stress? Does this scale? Will I regret not doing this? So I literally told the AI, before you answer anything, think using these rules. I gave it my principles, my biases, my priorities. Now when I ask, should I start this new project? It doesn't just say pros and cons. It says things like, this looks exciting, but based on your past patterns, you tend to abandon projects that don't show progress in 2 weeks, which is uncomfortable but accurate. And that's when it got interesting, because it started disagreeing with me. I didn't want a yes-man robot. I wanted a thinking partner, so I trained it to push back. I added instructions like point out when I'm repeating a bad pattern, tell me if I'm overcomplicating, call out emotional decisions pretending to be logical. Now sometimes I'll say, I'm too busy to work out, and it replies, you said that before your last burnout. Rude, but helpful. And this changed how I work every day. But here's the part I didn't expect. The moment it predicted my idea before I finished typing. One night I was brainstorming content. I typed, I want to make a video about, and before I finished, it suggested why productivity feels harder even though tools are better, which was exactly what I was about to write. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just AI helping me think. It was pattern matching my brain, my interests, my tone, my angles. It knew the direction I tend to go. And honestly, that's both powerful and slightly terrifying. So let's talk about what this is actually useful for. Here's what I use it for daily. 1. Faster writing. I give it rough thoughts. It shapes them in my voice, not generic, not stiff. Still sounds like me, just clearer. 2. Better decisions. I explain a situation. It reflects my past choices back at me. It spots patterns I miss in the moment. 3. Idea expansion. I drop a half-baked idea. It builds angles I would explore, but faster. 4. Avoiding burnout. It notices when my plans look like previous overload cycles. Yes, I trained it on my burnout history too. It's like having a version of me that's calm, rested, and slightly more rational, which is ironic. Because I built it while stressed. This only works if you're honest with it. If you only feed AI your highlight reel, you get a fake version of you. You need the messy notes, the doubts, the abandoned ideas. Because your flaws are part of how you think. And here's the twist most people miss. The goal isn't to replace your thinking. It's to see your thinking from the outside. That's the superpower. Most people use AI like Google, ask, get answer, move on. But the real power, building AI that understands how you talk, how you choose, how you get stuck, how you grow. That's when AI stops being a tool and starts being a mirror. A very fast, slightly blunt mirror. In my next video, I'll show you exactly what I fed into the system and the prompts I used to train it to think like me. Because once you see that part, you'll realize this is something anyone can build, and the version of you it creates might notice things you've been ignoring for years. If this made you think differently about AI, hit like if you want the full setup, subscribe. And remember, the future of AI isn't smarter machines, it's machines that understand you.